I'm DC,
I'm Edison.
and welcome to this very, very special episode of Femmes React. Today we have with us, which is amazing. We have Mr. Dr. Patrick Ronstadt. This is his pseudonym. He is a novelist and neurosurgeon, twice president of the Federation of Medical Students. He's had many, many novels that he's put out. One of his first was Wake Up Ladies, Doc. That got turned into a series, 2 seasons. And then there was My Ride, I Love You. And that got turned to a series. And then he's been publishing so many books and novels and things like that. Everything from My Ride to My Imaginary Boyfriend to 7 Days Before Valentine. He also still every day goes into the hospital and he, as a neurosurgeon, lectures. Also, I believe he speaks a minimum of 3 languages. And so he's like amazing. I give you Dr. Patrick Ronstadt.
สวัสดีครับ Hello everybody, I'm Patrick Rangsimant. Actually, my real name is Utain Bunarana, but my nickname is Patrick, so I go with Patrick.
Okay.
Or you can call me Pat, just only Pat. Simple.
Okay, Pat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. I know you had a long day.
Thank you for thinking about me.
Oh my goodness. I personally am excited because for me, I don't read a lot of fiction. I just find it kind of boring, but your stories are very captivating and very just like, here's the facts, but then also they draw you along and teach you something. So I know that you started writing, and when you started writing, you were just like, I don't see myself here in any of these BL novels and stuff like that. Do you still feel that way? Do you still feel like you don't see yourself in the current BL world, or are you seeing that has changed?
I still feel the same. I'm writing a general fiction. I still insist that what I'm writing is the general fiction, maybe it's thriller fiction, but the protagonist is just a guy who fall in love with a guy, with the other guys. So most of my book, most of my novel is talking about life, talking about love, and like the life lesson. But I just use the male who fall in love with male to be protagonist. And I still don't know many things in the BL world, like the Omega verse. You know what? I just know about the Omega verse. Like last week, I have just understand about the rule of being alpha and omega and beta. And when I understood alpha, beta, and omega, something like enigma just happened. What is so I'm still a noob in the BL world, but I enjoy so far.
Don't worry, I just found out about it this year when I started watching Bitbait. My friend had to explain everything. I'm like, what? And I've been watching it for a while. Tell me about your current writing process, because I know that you are doing all of these kind of things, and we've talked about it a little bit off camera, but also I want to understand your writing process and what do you think about when you go into it? Like, is it like you're trying to deliver some message or some idea when you start off, or so?
Okay. Before I start writing the story, I figure out what is the message I would like to communicate with my reader. Like in My Right, I Love You. I would like to deliver that if you have to choose between being right and being kind, please choose to be kind. So this is the like the core of the story, and then I bring some theme to wrap the core of the story and start like create the structure of this whole story. This process I use average like 2 months for create the structure, and then I use just only 2 weeks for writing the whole book. Just only 2 weeks because uh, I can write like 2 or 3 thousand words per day. Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive. It was very interesting about, especially in My Ride, you have, while it's about being right and being
Being
kind.
kind.
Right, it's
Yes.
about being right and being kind. It was very the surrounding that is a lot of different elements that I didn't see before, like the uncles being in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Um, that was very, very interesting. Can you tell me about those particular elements, or you like to add those little extra elements in there?
If you reread it again or if you rewatch again, you will find that every couple in this story is the kind person and a kind person. And even though like Nadia before at the first she's not be a kind person, she's just in like a good heart person but not being kind. But uh, in the story she take the journey and she transform from a good heart into a good heart and uh, a right person into a kind person, and finally she fall in love with the barista. So
Mm.
and the uncle couple is also the kind person. But if you notice, there's two uncles, right? Uncle
Yeah.
Sheep and Uncle Dale. It's actually they are from Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale. It's Chip and Dale.
Oh my goodness.
Because I love Chip and Dale so much, and even though Disney try to explain that Chip and Dale is their like a brother, but I think
Right.
no, not brother. They are a male couple.
It's canon now. It's we you saw it here on Femmes React. It's canon. Chip and Dale are a couple, and they're always
Yeah.
fighting like a couple.
So because I love Chip and Dale so much, so I added Chip and Dale into my story. Uncle Chip and Uncle Dale.
Because I saw this series first, and then I read the book. And of course, things aren't exactly turned over into the screen and things like that. I remember that one of the characters was actually a bigger film character, and he was having a talk with the doctor, and he was like, because the doctor was thinking about, okay, how could he be in love with he has to choose between if somebody is a top or a bottom or femme or anything like that. And the bigger character was just like, we have to smash this idea. You love who
Yeah,
you love. And I thought that was very unique because usually you see it from a position of, okay, you know what, you're a straight guy and you love a guy, you love is love.
yeah.
But these are also messages within the LGBT community that you have to present. Um, I thought that was very interesting.
Actually, in Thailand, the BL world is conquered by the girl. So
Mhm.
I can say that in every BL books here, use
Mhm.
the top and bottom and husband and wife, like,
Right.
but because I am the minor in the BL industry here in Thailand because I'm gay, but you may not know, but there's a few gay writer in the BL community here in Thai. So I would like to deliver the message that we are guy and guy. So there are no husband and wife. It's just husband and husband. If you notice in my book, there will no husband and wife. It's just husband and husband, a guy and a guy, and there's no top and bottom. And in my book, the bigger gay is Nadia. In original story, Nadia is the macho gay, like
Yeah.
power bottom. It's like power bottom. But for being a TV series, the director and the scriptwriter consulted with me because the one thing that this story has missed is the good relationship between gay and girl, because the best friend for girl is gay, right?
Right. Yeah.
The director think that we should change Nadia from a power bottom into a power girl. So there's come the
Okay.
Nadia who is also the girl, and you know what is, I think it's perfectly matched, perfectly
Okay.
matched.
All right.
So in
Cool.
the next book, I try to add it a real girl in the BL world, and in the good side, not the bad side, like in the any other cliche trope, like this is my ex-boyfriend. I would like to steal him back from you,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting because I know you have a lot on your plate, but like there's supposed to be a My Cop I Love You, and then also there's supposed to be two more sequels with Twan's yeah, with My Ride. I think there's supposed to be two more sequels. And
Yes,
then
the one is the middle son. He has an older brother who is
right.
Sang Tai, meaning Aurora, and he has a younger brother who is down near the North Star. And these two this guy have their own story.
Yeah.
So not down near North Star has to be an internist doctor in the isolated Iceland. So he fall in love with the rescuer guy.
Mm,
It's not my cop I love you anymore. It's my rescuer I love you.
uh,
And Dr. Aurora, Dr. Sang Tai, fall in love with his ex-boyfriend. So it will be my ex I love you, because
oh,
okay, everybody can fall in love again with their ex, right?
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if those things in which like you broke up with
But
the first time are
yeah,
taken care of.
but I start writing the romantic, like the romantic comedy book,
Uh,
and I found that I'm not good at it. I just average. From my right, I love you. I think I am just average, maybe a little bit lower than the average level, and the other writer can make it better than me, a lot better than me. So I think that I should change style of writing. So I shift from my right I love you to the second book, which is my imaginary boyfriend, which is contain a little bit of neuroscience, which is in my field. And I love let me I growing up with reading Stephen King's book,
mhm.
and I also love David Levitan. So I emblem David Levitan element and Stephen King element with my medical neuroscience knowledge and combine it into my imaginary boyfriend.
Which is one of my favorite books. It was one of my favorite books, and I I also like how it's a shared world. You have a shared world for books. Like all your characters, kind of like there were people. There was a person in My Imaginary Boyfriend who was also in My Ride, and so it's
Yeah,
a shared universe.
yeah,
So
it's the same universe because in the My Imaginary Boyfriend, you will see some part of Doctor Tawan, which is also has the some part of him in My Imaginary Boyfriend. Actually, all of my books set in the same universe.
okay, so you have like Doctor Patch universe, and we're gonna call it that, like the Marvel universe, and we have.
Yeah, like other book of me, which is going to be art, which is this one, Mystic in the Mirror. The series
Yeah.
will be on air soon. I just had a meeting with the team. The shooting process is already done, and the edit post production process is already done. Now it's just in the marketing process. This is also set in the same universe too.
See, there you go. And how is it something that you're like, okay, all of this is inside the same universe? Do you have to have a bigger picture, or do you just like write the story? This is now in this universe, or do you think about bringing characters in?
The last one, I have the story I would like to tell, then I write something to tell, and when there is a chance to add it, the other character from the other book into this story, okay, I take the chance.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
unplanned. It's like I'm planning but unplanned planning.
Because I know that you also lecture
Yes.
on neuroscience and also storytelling. How does that inform your writing process, what you put in the story, and things like that? Does that really inform? Is there a thin membrane between like your work and your writing?
Okay, my favorite writer, Judy Bloom,
Oh,
always says that for being a writer, the more important than write is to read. Also, being a lecturer, more important than teaching is reading. I have to read. I have to read every research. I have to read research paper. You know what? I read the research paper at least 3 papers a day. This is my commitment. I have to read the research paper 3 papers a day. So like I collect more information, I collect more data, and something really interesting, something really funny, I will pick it up and cut something and stick into my notebook. I still use the ordinary notebook. I'm an old guy, you know. Actually, this year I turned 43 years old already, so I'm from the digital era. So I'm using this book. I pick up something that really interesting into like my plot bank, and when something spark in my brain, I use it. So it's not a thin line, but actually it's the same thing. For being a writer, being a lecturer, I still have to read. I still have to do more research, and I still have to add something into my brain every day.
yes, I find myself having to read, and I'm trying to go back into the academy myself and research and all that kind of fun stuff because it's you feel stimulated, you know.
Yes, actually, I teach in faculty of medicine, and I also teach in faculty of business. Because my topic is neuromarketing. I'm talking about the customer neuroscience, and yes, I also teaching in the faculty of communication art about the neuro storytelling and how the story react into your brain, and how your brain react when you watch the story or when you perform the acts, perform the play, perform some story.
It sounds like you have a lot of themes and inspirations that you take out that you want to portray to your audience. Some of that might come from your personal life or your views. But then when it gets translated to a TV series, how much control do you have over maintaining your message that you want to send? Because you were talking about My Ride, the nuance in LGBT relationships about dissecting top, bottom, whatever. But I didn't really get any of that when I watched My Ride. And so I don't know if I should bring up your tweet about 7 days, but you did tweet out about 7 days about how the director has his own style and you have your own storytelling method. And so, yeah, how much control do you have over the stories when they go to TV? What's the process like in trying to maintain the originality of that?
0%. I have 0% part. You know what? I asked them that, can I have some cameo in the series? I would like to see myself in series.
Oh.
And you watch nothing, nothing. They're just like talking to me, and this is the signed contract. You sign it. Okay, I will call you when there's a shooting because I would like to. I want your picture with the actor, and then go back home.
So you don't even pick the actors. You have no say in anything, or so
No.
like if you did Lovely
Oh.
Writer, you see the writer at the shooting and all this stuff and auditions, but
At my right, I love you. The first draft of the script, I am within the team, but the producer refused the first draft and used the other draft, so I don't see it anymore. I don't see it. I don't know about the shooting process, and I see is actually at the same time as all audiences, and also 7 Days Before Valentine too. But I'm not making it into a drama, because this is the normal process. When I sell the license for adaptation, I prepare myself that okay, it will be adapt, and it will be the story that tell by the director, not me. So it's like for me, it's like I am also the other audiences who watch at exactly the same time. If I like it, okay, I will tweet about it. Yeah, I like this, I like this, I like that. But if I don't like it, I will not tweet. But I will not tweet bad thing. If I feel bad, I will not tweet. I just keep it with myself, talking with my close friend. That's all.
that's so interesting because like I don't know how other production companies work, but you hear stories about how their writers have a lot of sway, or I don't know, like for here, but like I remember when we were watching Kin Porch, and I remember how problematic the writers were, and it sounded like they couldn't get rid of them. So it sounded like they had a lot of control in that situation. So
because the writer also own the company of making Kin Porch. But I am not famous writer. I am just in Thailand. I am just nobody. I am just a small writer. But okay, I just write something that may be interesting. So that's why the company, the producer, interested to making into a TV series. But actually, my book is not outsell. I am not that kind of famous. I am just a happy writer, not a famous writer.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because it seems like you write because you like writing, you love writing. Because I know that for me, and I'm willing to pay in support. During the 7 days before Valentine's, you reduced the price of the original book to the lowest you could do it, so that way other people could see. And then also your latest book, My Last 5 Days, is like for US is just really super cheap. And it's like you also have, I believe you also have a presence on Wattpad, and you put them out there. And then also, I believe I love you, kill you / kill you. I think that was a tweet story before, or like put up on Twitter, or was that my right? One of these you put up on Twitter, and you just want your writing to be out there.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, my last 5 days. Actually, I would like to make it $0, but like Amazon didn't allow me to do that because my account is not like my account is not allowed to be provide the free ebook. So I make it as less as I can, as cheap as I can. I just want to write a story, and I just want some people to read it. Yeah, I do need money. Everybody do need money, but I'm a doctor. I can raise my life already. So I just need comment. I just need like, I just need retweet. That's all.
I mean, you are living up to the title of novel-smith, which is your portmanteau or your description for yourself because you're out there doing it. One of the things I did like I read 7 Days Before Valentines, and then I remember when I originally read it, and I do something with your books that I don't do unless I do fiction. I actually highlight. This is why I like it in digital form, because I highlight. I'm like, oh my God, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. He's telling me something right here. And while the book version was very much talking about the stages of grief, I also took another message of it, and like all of these things that we think are bad in a relationship, it's like not that bad. This is like, okay, these are parts of a relationship and how to have a relationship with other people. Is there like, was that a subtitle? Like, or did you mean to have that in there, or is it just happened that way?
Actually, I mean that way. Uh, back to the start. I talked with my friend about 5 steps of griefs, and I remember that when I was the medical student, I have to study about 5 steps of grieving, and it's really difficult for me to remember, to understand. So when I grew up being a neurologist, and I understand it very well, because I have to use this to like therapy my patient. So how could I make it, this 5 step of grieving, into a easy to understand form? So storytelling is the choice, is the good choice. So I transform 5 steps of grieving into a novel, which is why it contains some elements of good word, good idea, and like a life lesson in there, because I would like to add it into the book. I think that day, my friend, we drink. Actually, I drink every Friday. My friend said that my friend broke up with his boyfriend because his boyfriend found someone else. And my friend said that if I can kill him, that's the new one. If I can get rid of him, the new one, my ex will come back to me. I said, no, it won't happen. Because when he broke up with you, he also broke up with himself, have been with you. He is the new guy already, and he will not come back. My friend did not believe me. So I think, okay, if you got, I will write a story that make you understand that he will not come back.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, that's such a fun story, Patrick. So you wrote Wake Up Ladies, and I appreciate, that got turned into a series, and because it features a feminine man as the lead. And then you just told that story. How much of yourself do you put in these stories, and then how much of the people do you know? Is there like maybe someone that you've dated that you want to like cast a really bad picture, or like?
90% of me is in our Wake Up Ladies. Actually, it's the anecdote it's like a memory of the memoir of my life with my female friend. So every female character in Wake Up Lady has the real person. So the friend that keep comment with me in my Facebook, maybe there. So, and I start writing from my experience, my friend, and also my experience with my ex. Actually, the EP3 in the first season is exactly 100% from my one night stand experience. So you can watch it just only one time, and I rewatch every EP, but not EP3, because it's too embarrassed to see myself there.
Wow. I find it very interesting because, well, at least my journey with your books, it has started to get away from the medical setting, especially in like last 5 days. It's read it kind of quickly, but like there wasn't any medical in and of itself, as opposed to like my ride, where like one of the main characters is a doctor, and then my imaginary boyfriend, he had medical elements, and then so I thought that and then also you have another one, which I haven't read yet. I apologize about that. In which it's the Earth is about to be destroyed, and you have yes, but it has it been translated into English on the web pad? Is that fine?
The translator is translating it into the official, because I translated myself, but my English is not that good. I can just translate enough for understanding, for comprehension, but not feeling. So when you read, you understand the story, but you not feel the story. So I think so I hired the translator to do, and she is doing her job right now, because this book is going to be a TV series too.
Okay. All right. So I can't wait till the official translator gets it up, because
this book has no medical personal here.
Okay. So where do you think you're going? Like, what other aspects? Because that's like other stories you want to tell, other settings.
Actually, I'm going with the story I would like to tell, but the thing that I'm good with is also the personal medical knowledge. That's how you see me in my imaginary boyfriend, and also you will see me in Mystic in the Mirror, which is English translation will be soon available.
Okay, great. Because I would like to. I saw that and I was like, oh yay!
How much BL do you watch, Patrick? Do you? What's the perception of BL in your circle of friends? Do you think it's a good representation of the queer community, or are you trying to do something about it through your writing?
I think that I am just a part of the community, a small part of the community, because I'm getting older right now. I'm growing up with the community like 80s, 90s, and now it's transformed already. I am just, if you ask me, now I think I am just the observer for the LGBT. I try to communication about how actual LGBT community is in my book. But as you know, I am not the famous writer here, and my book contains no sex scene, no NC scene, has no description about having sex. So that's why I am not famous here. But I'm still happy to writing it. I'm still happy to be a small part of it, and being an observer. I love seeing the LGBT community getting progress, maybe in the good way or maybe in the bad way. But I have no comment about this. I am just the observer, and I enjoy observing.
I want to ask you this question. I know that in 2019 you talked about marriage equality and wanting that to get passed and things like that, and especially recently. Well, within recent, there was that bill that was passed in the Thailand parliament. It was very apropos. I think it was just serendipitous because at that time, also the episode of 7 Days Before Valentine had that activist on there talking about equality and marriage equality and things like that. So I want to ask you now about the marriage equality right now in Thailand. Do you feel better about it than like you did 5 years ago, or do you really feel more hope that's happening? Or because right now in all the BL spaces, there's always that, oh, marriage equality, and it's activism. So do you feel happy, or do you feel hopeful, or what do you feel about that now? Or do you feel
I'm feel more happy. I'm feel more happy. I feel I have more hope, but
Mhm.
it's just past the first round in Thai Parliament. It's still there. There's still two process before it officially legally. So, but I have hope more than 5 years ago. At least Thai society uh, care about this more than 5 years ago. And they not care because just only getting married, but they care because LGBT gay people also their friend, also the equally people like them, and they have right to love and they have right to take care of someone they love. This is not about just getting married. This is not about just the getting to have a baby, but it's more than that. That's why I feel more happy because I feel like I am more human than 5 years ago.
Yes. Wow. That's really good. And I just want to talk about your current book that we just let out, my
Uh-huh.
last 5 days. I tell everybody you should go out there and get all of his books, but this one is also really good. And you say it's a feel good story, but getting to that feel good place is kind of like, oh, okay. Is this like a conversation where did this idea of the story came up from? Did you feel that it was needed? I really feel like things that we put into the world, sometimes the world needs it. And so do you think that it was like, oh my goodness, this is feeling some need, or I want to have this conversation with someone or just everyone?
Ah, I see. Actually, my last 5 days is not a new one. It's the very, very old short story. I wrote it since like 2016 or maybe
Oh,
2017. Yeah,
mm,
it's a lot long times ago because there is a runner, a Thai runner. He is just a runner, but he wants to do some good things for the medical society. So he run from the top of the north of Thailand to the southeast top of Thailand.
right.
He make a bet that I will do that, and if I can do that, please donate for the hospital, for the medical society to making the fundraising for the hospital.
Mm,
So and many people donate for him. Many people join running with him. It's like a
mm,
big group of running from the north to the south of Thailand. But I cannot, I cannot, I cannot run like that. So I asked my other friend who is also the writer, like 15 writers. We will write something that make people have more hope for tomorrow than today. This is the topic. Write something with the inspiration to live in the other day more than today, and we gather it into a book that collect of the short story, and we sell it on internet. We sell it on pre-order, and all of the money we got that we donate to this charity. So my idea is the story that make you feel more hope for tomorrow than today, and make you would like to live your life more and more.
I like a lot of the different themes in the book, especially about community and being involved with other people, and what life is about, the lessons of life and the meaning
Ah,
of life, um, and how he was in his own little world. But then when he start to get to know other people and just like, oh, this is the people who who I don't know, who I've just like they're right there, and oh, this is preparing for the future, and this is it's more built a full life. Like he has a reason to go on. So I
Yeah.
really like that.
Actually, on the last day about Despacito, right?
Yes, I remember that.
Actually, it's actually from my story. I go to the nightclub with my friend, and when there's Despacito on, I dancing, and my friend said that. Do you understand the song? Because it's not English. It's not even English. I said, oh, this is what the song is. It's not for you to understand. It's for you to enjoy. And I think that yes, actually, life is also like a song. Life is not for you to understand. You can understand just like 10 to 20% of your life, but
Mhm.
the life is for you to enjoy, not to understand. So do not ask yourself that why this happened to me, why that happened to me, why this happened to the other people, why it's not happened to me, why it's not me, why it's not him. But you have to find the enjoy moment in your life, and today will be good enough, and then you go to sleep, and tomorrow you will find some moment to enjoy and make it every day.
Yeah, I I love the book. It was like I was like, okay, yes, I have to be reminded of this. And also, like for me, that instance of the Despacito and things like that. It reminded me when I was like in Rome once. I was in Rome. I didn't really speak Italian, and then I was in a club, and then the bartender was singing some song in English. And then I was like, "Oh, you speak English?" And they were like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And if it's just because sometimes, like, you phonetically just sing a song and things like that, and they're just enjoying.
My
So,
LGBT friend, every my LGBT friend can sing Korean song, K-pop song, but they don't know any Korean, but they can remember what exactly to sing. They can
mm,
remember the lyric and remember the meaning, but in the real life they cannot speak Korean.
mm.
It's also the same. Music is for you to enjoy.
Do you have time to watch BL, or do you have any favorites or opinions on?
Okay, can I be honest?
Yeah.
I be honest?
Yeah, it's just us here.
I enjoy watching Japanese BL
Mm.
or no Korean BL, and maybe Hollywood BL, some Hollywood BL, but I don't see Thai BL. I don't watch Thai BL
Mm.
because uh, I don't want to contaminate my idea.
Oh,
If I watch Thai BL and maybe it happened, is some scene happen in my writing.
Mm.
uh, Here Thai people is very good on blaming people. So they will be like, you copy from that writer, you copy from that writer, you copy from that story. So I think it's better to stick with the seeing the overseas series. But I use my free time with reading, not watching.
mm.
You can see that I have a lot of book here.
Yes.
See, and my favorite writer is Stephen King, David Levitan, Patrick Ness, which is that's why I use my name Patrick, because I very love Patrick Ness, and John David Hutchinson.
I want to get this right. In your writing, you're self-taught, and that your outline is usually a hero's journey, and you learn all that from reading and things like that. You didn't like formally, you don't have like a master's in in literature or anything like that, or but
Wait a
you.
minute, I learned from this.
Okay, wow.
It's a textbook of Professor Joseph Campbell. I love him so much. I remember that before this I just write okay, today I have this idea, so I write it. Today I have this idea, so I write it. But I found when I come back and read my novel is disorganized And I found that every story has the structure. I have to study some structure, and I watch YouTube. YouTube, and I found the clip talking about hero journeys by Joseph Campbell. So I go to Kinokuniya and bought this book and I read it. And after that, I am a big fan of a hero's journey. In my research, I also use a hero's journeys to be the cause the core story that I do the experimental with. And I found that the other professor, Professor Paul Sack, he is the neuroscientist in Claremont University at California. He studied about a hero's journey too, and he studied about how a hero's journey react into your brain and make your brain secrete oxytocin to make you feel good. So it's checking my world that actually the good story can do the reaction into your brain, and a hero's journey is the best structure to make your brain shaking and secrete oxytocin. That's why I am obsessed with a hero's journey. My research also do about it, and I read this book.
It's just amazing that you're like, okay, you're self-taught with this, and it's really good. It's really easy. Like I said, your writing for me is really easy to follow. It's not like this, and not to throw any shade at her, but it's not like this Ayn Rand overly descriptive detail for no reason and then go back. And it's you like really take your reader on a journey and you hold their hand and you're like, come on, we're going to go into this journey together. So let's go. And it doesn't feel like you have some respect for your reader, and you're taking them along with that. So I appreciate that as a person who is a fan. So
Thank you very much. Because the reader paid to read my story, yes, I have to take the respect. I have to respect them. They pay to read my story. Why not?
Patrick, do you have any advice to young people out there who struggle with productivity? Just struggle in general. Who just struggle in general with their lives? What kind of advice do you have as a neuroscientist?
Okay.
Or how do people get your kind of tenacity in productivity?
Okay. I just read a paper about neuroscience of procrastination. The opposite of productivity is procrastination. You know that you can do it. You can do. You know how to do, but you have no energy to do. You have no heart to do. You cannot put your heart into doing this task. Actually, it's because you lost the connection between you and yourself.
Oh,
maybe you connect with something else. You connect with the society. You connect with the social network. You connect with some story that happened. It's just only happened. Just came across your mobile phone, and then when you lost the contact with yourself more and more and more, you cannot product. You have to reconnect with yourself in the past. But how? It's easy. It's easy to say that, okay, you just reconnect with yourself. But how? Okay, look back into your past result. For me, when I got the writer block, I cannot write because maybe I spend too much time on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Netflix, or reading something else, or dance, socializing, drinking with my friend. When I come back to write, I cannot write. I cannot write a good word there. And when I force myself to write more and more, it's getting worse and worse. And when I read it, I feel depressed and I don't want to write anymore. I will end up my writer's career at this point. But I go back to read the novel that I finished long times ago. I read the comment from my reader. I go back to my reader, who is now being my friend already. I talk with them, and just like that, I don't ask them for any suggestion, just talking with them and reading my book, like talking with myself. It's like I deposit my some part of my brain, some part of my life in the book that I wrote before. And when I back to read it, I reconnect with myself. And after that, I can write. So you have to reconnect with yourself, like something you used to enjoy it, some place you love it, you feel happy when you go there, and then you just go back there and you promise with yourself that if I can pass this task, if I can pass this project, if I can do this, I will come back again and I will be me, but a better me. So actually the basic science of procrastination is just you lost connection with yourself, and more than procrastination is you feel lonely. You see, many of my patients say that they feel lonely and they go to the nightclub, they go to many places that a lot of people, but turns out that they feel more lonely even though they are in the nightclub, a lot of people there, but they feel more lonely. I said that because you lost connection. You lost connection with yourself. You have to reconnect with yourself. And I am not yourself. So I cannot tell you how to reconnect with yourself. You have to figure out. And I will see you in the next week, 1 hour later. And this is and you and go to the Department of Cashier.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke. But actually, yes, I can do that. I do therapy just only 1 hour a patient.
Like when you feel lost in the world, you have to go back home and connect with yourself, but in an intimate way, and go into that intimacy and knowing and connecting where you were. You have to go back home to restart again. Okay, that is really good.
We gotta find ourselves again.
You know what? One of my friend, he is LGBT. He found himself when he make up.
Oh yeah.
When he make up, because it's something he like. There's two type of memory. It's implicit memory and explicit memory. Explicit memory is the memory that need your conscious to bring it out. Like when I ask you who is the first president of United States, yes, this is it need to use your conscious to bring that memory. This is the explicit memory. I'm talking about the implicit memory. Implicit memory is the memory that like instinct is in the memory in your hand, in your finger, in your feet, in your eye, in your sensation. So when he grabbed the lipstick, it's like he used the memory in his hand to make him reconnect with himself in the past. Not in the past, reconnect with himself. So that's how he getting out from being depressed, from being procrastination, and back to a normal, not a productive, because actually normally he's not a productive, but he can back to his normal state.
Okay. Kind of like a muscle memory.
Yeah, it's like when you have sex once in your life, you can have sex along your life. Like riding a bicycle, unless you got the Alzheimer. Okay, that's the other thing we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like getting to know you, Patrick, I was curious about your inspiration. I don't know. I'm trying to summarize what I've just learned about you. Because initially I thought maybe, you focused on LGBT experiences and expressing them. But it seems like you're focused on your own originality but also on a bigger scale, helping people. Like, I feel like that comes a lot through your writing. Would you say that that's a big motivation in that you want to put ideas that improve people's lives or give them perspectives that help themselves? through your stories?
I don't think that big. I just want my story to being a part of feel good in my reader's mind. At least make them make them feel better. And I hope that some messages in my story will answer some question in my reader's mind. When you read, there will be some part of the protagonist that reflect yourself and make you and you're struggling with this kind of problem, and some messages in my novel can answer it and make you like getting out of that problem. I hope that, I really hope that. That's why I put a lot of good word or any experience from me and my patient into the books. Actually, every book I wrote,
Mhm.
I don't have a big hope that I will be like the helper to every people, but I am to be a part of the good thing the reader remember.
One of the things that going back to my ride, one of the things actually, I think it was my ride and something else. It was when the character wanted just somebody to say, "Are you tired? How was your day?" Like, and that's it. And I thought that was really, really just a little like you just want somebody to say, "Are you tired? How was your day?" And just care about you. And that's the a little bit of intimacy. Just little words, you know. So yeah, I appreciate that. So that's telling me what I'm looking for. So
if you if you're getting older like me, you will understand the life like me. You may can write something like that for sure. I can write I can write it. It's not because I'm good. It's not because I'm excellent, but because I'm old. I am old man. I can see
no.
I saw a lot of life aspect. I saw a 3 years old getting heartbreaking, broke up with the boyfriend. I saw 70 old man just discovered that he is gay and he came to consult it with me. I saw 20 something, 30 something girl with heartbroken. So yes, I saw a lot of aspect. This is the perk of being a doctor. So
Mm.
I see a lot. I just sit at my desk at my table and the patient comes and I listen, I learn a lot from them. And when it so I got a lot of story, and some story inspire me to write.
Mm. Okay. Like a medical Carrie Bradshaw Sex in the City. like
Something like that. Something like that. I actually I wrote about the relationship with yourself, relationship with your friend, your love, and your world. It's all about relationship. That's why I didn't add the sex scene, because we use the sex as the is a way to connect you with your love or with someone else, but
Mhm.
there is another way to use it, and I'm not good at writing the sex scene, so let the other writer who's very excellent in this kind of words make it, and I enjoy reading it. That's all.
Okay. What about all we're coming to a close, but your future projects and things like that, and what do you see yourself going forward for the next year, 2 years?
Okay, now I'm writing 7 days before the Halloween, which is it will be end. It will be it has to be finished in this week, because there is just only like six to 10 pages. That's all, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and you will be able to read it soon. But after 7 days before Valentine, I have my project this year, I want to write something that cannot be adapted into a TV series. This is my aim for this year.
Oh, that you want to write something that cannot be
That's
adapted?
something that too difficult to make into a TV series because okay, this year there will be 2 or 3 TV series from my books, and I think that I got that chance, that I got that opportunity enough. I would like to share this opportunity to the other writers. So now, when the company or when the producer asks me, Dr. Patrick, do you have any other new story for us? We would like to make a TV series. I said, no, but that that writer, this book is good. You should read it and contact to this writer
Okay.
because uh, the opportunity is not to be like the opportunity is not a thing. You have to own it, but you have to share it. So I have opportunity already, and for me it's enough already. So I would like to share it with the other writer.
That's awesome. Like putting down a ladder for other people to get up and sharing opportunity and things like that. That's really awesome. That's great.
Thank you. And so I write something that is very difficult. So yeah, like this year I have a project of I I came back to say I'm sorry. It's about the zombie boy who came back from being a zombie. That is said about like it's the post zombie apocalypse, and there's a doctor who can treat the zombie to get back into a normal person, and this
Mhm.
boy is a zombie who is getting back into a normal person, and he goes back home, but his family refused to take him back because they are afraid that you used to be a zombie. You said that you are human right now, but can we trust that? Will you getting up in the nighttime and eat us? So my son died 2 years ago, and you're not my son. Please go wherever, but not here. So this boy, like his broken heart, his heart is broken. So he would like to take his life down. But he remembered that when he was a zombie, he ate 7 human. So there will be 7 family that lost a member. So before he kill himself, he will take the journey and go back to apologize to this 7 family. So this is a journey of this boy learn how to live with his life by apologizing.
Oh wow. Okay, now I'm interested. I'm really and you said it's gonna be this year.
Yes, this year. Now,
Okay.
you see, it's not a love story. It's not BL story. It's the story about a boy who would like to. He has a boy who has to learn about the life lesson by apologizing. So this kind of story will not be a TV series for sure.
Oh.
But I hope that it will heal the reader's heart.
I can't wait till that happens. I am conscious of your time and thank you. I want to just say thank you very much for joining us. And I know that you had a long day at the hospital with your patients, and then also you have writing to do. And I appreciate it. I appreciate what time we got to spend with you. If anybody wants, there's several of his books on Amazon, so you can go ahead and get them. Also, they're available in hard copy in English and Thai. Also, go over to Twitter. He's over there on Twitter, and go ahead and follow him. And he's a wonderful person. Did wonderful books. Thank you very much for stopping by. I just don't. I'm just gushing and stuff.
Thank you very much, DC. Thank you very much, Edison.
So hopefully we can like have you on again in like a couple of in further time to see how you're going and has your thoughts changed, and especially if marriage equality finally gets through this couple of stages. So
Mhm.
yes.
We can go. We can come back to talk again when this on air. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I would enjoy that. Yes. So we can come back, and that's when the next time you see us. So, see you next video.
See you next video. Thank you very much, DC. Thank you very much, Edison, and thank you very much the our audiences. It's my
Right.
pleasure. It's my honest to be here. So I hope to see you again.
All right. Thank you. See ya. Bye.
And see you. สวัสดีครับ บ๊ายบาย
Bye.